we go. It's me, Super Mario RPG. Guys, if you ever just jumped for joy for a bit of news...
Has your penis ever touched Jupiter?
That's
mine did today.
That's exactly what David just felt and went through today. And
hurts.
I honestly can't be happier. You know? Like,
y'all, Dennis called me.
I thought he was capping.
Yeah, he called because here's the thing. I can be a bit of a jackass.
You can.
I can be a bit of an asshole,
You can.
little bit of a dick, a little bit of a troll to my good old buddy Dennis. There was once a time, right, where I started mouthing words in the webcams to make it seem like I couldn't hear him or that our connection was bad.
Such an asshole.
And here's the thing. The Nintendo Direct was this morning. That is what we were talking about here.
Yes. Oh, also,
Here
welcome today, guys, to
Yes,
Double D. It's gonna be a great one because we have
sometimes a bunch of farming anime simulators.
sometimes
fucking Mario RPG remasters.
but always.
fucking?
I don't know. I was gonna say always mid. Tends to be kind of.
No, what are you talking about?
Most, like,
Today's
most
Direct
I don't know.
was the
Not
opposite.
no. I know. I'm just speaking overall.
Yeah.
Most directs are kind of mid.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Some of them can be. I mean, here's the thing. Some days, some people eat good, and there's 3 Fire Emblem announcements, and all the Fire Emblem fans are like pogging off, and literally everyone else hates it.
Yeah.
And then some days, it's literally the greatest possible fucking Nintendo Direct you could have possibly ever gotten if you're a Mario fan.
That
I will tell you straight up.
That, and also I think I have some thoughts on this direct today, and it basically is that I think they're nearing the end of this console cycle now.
You are not the first person who said that today. You're not the first person.
I'm
who said that.
just an observer too, but like I really think like
I am an observer too as well, but you got to remember I literally worked for Nintendo seasonally. Right?
Yeah.
And it's better to work for them seasonally because then I don't have to sign the NDAs or shit or
or be beholden to any sort of like red tape bullshit.
Be a Nintendrone, basically, because I love Nintendo, but I don't agree with everything the company does. I'm very much in the middle of like the fuck Nintendo pirate everything crowd and the Nintendrones who buy everything and defend the multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Because it's like, on one hand, I hate Daddy, but at the same time,
he's my daddy.
I like Daddy, so it's like, it's just like, it's just like that weird middle ground that you're at. I get that.
But here's the thing. I thought they were going to release one with Tears of the Kingdom, and I think they didn't because of the pandemic, and so they just couldn't afford the microchips for the new one, right? Because I thought for sure they were going to do that. The Switch used to come in a huge rectangular box.
Yeah.
They dropped it to the box size that the OLED is in.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, they're making room on the shelves. They're making room on the shelves for something new. On top of the fact that 5 years prior, they also had a press release saying the Switch had 5 more years left in its lifespan, and there's no way they're going to go 5 more years without upgrading the thing. But then it didn't happen, so I'm imagining it's probably going to happen next year. Metroid Prime 4 is probably going to be a fucking launch for the next console at this point.
I guess the pandemic also just really delayed the shit out of everything.
The Switch launched with an outdated chip. Because the Wii U was such a commercial failure that Nintendo didn't want to risk it and spend too much money on the new thing. Too much. They wanted to spend just enough. And thank God for Nintendo and for the world, frankly, the Switch did pop off. So, we'll definitely discuss that as well. But yeah, there was a Nintendo Direct this morning. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot to talk about today. We're probably going to split this episode into 2 parts, literally. But fuck. We had too many topics planned, and then we're like, okay, let's wait one more day for the Nintendo Direct. And then Dennis is like, it's gonna be a bunch of fucking anime Farmville games like the last Nintendo Direct.
I mean, that's just how I am with all
Directs.
Directs.
Where they announced like 15 anime farming simulators in one Direct that time. I can't believe they did that. And then this one, where they announced like fucking 6 Mario games. Like
just bangers overall, really.
Bangers overall for the most part, too. So we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty, and we're gonna start with the meat of the operation here. You guys don't know. Dennis thought I was lying.
I really did. I actually got kind of angry.
He called me. It's like, David, if you're fucking lying to me. And I'm like, dude, I'm not. Like, and I had no way to prove it to him because the trailer was over and they don't upload the trailers on YouTube until a little bit later.
And I wasn't going to check the stream either because I was working at that point. Yeah.
So, what we are talking about here is motherfucking...
Wait.
Presenting Mario RPG Remaster.
Woo! Yeah!
Lip smacking, heart palpitation madness. That is the Mario RPG.
And can I just say, the trailer looked fucking great. It looks so charming.
Absolutely,
oh
dude.
my god. Like,
they kept the toy designs too.
yeah, exactly.
The way that they
Which
look.
I'm so happy they did, because like, I know that at least right now, and again, this is me coming as an outsider for this game specifically, because the only other RPGs that I've been playing is Paper Mario and the Super Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, like those kind of range of games.
Yeah.
And like, for this one though, like I always saw screenshots of it, and like I saw like few playthroughs here and there when I was like kind of growing up, and I am so happy that they kept Mario as a pudgy little shithead. Like he looks so dumpy in this fucking thing, but there is like a bit of a charm to it, which like I really am glad that they kept that aesthetic. Like, he looks so dumpy compared to everyone else in that whole lineup.
It looks like you took him like normal Mario
like,
and just
just like
like a fucking accordion. Just
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he looks like an accordion at half pressed. Like, he really just looks like that kind of size. And again, though, I am really glad though that they kept it like that.
It's so charming. I'm just looking at the image of the 5 of them, man. It looks
so fucking just aesthetic-wise looks so great.
Yeah, for those Zoomers who aren't familiar with this game.
Although one thing I will say, just my one little nitpick.
Yeah.
The UI when they're in battle looks so fucking bare bones that it really just like among everything.
They literally copy-pasted assets from Mario Party Superstars. The font is even the same. Like, the font is even the same. But, like, how are you gonna make it look like it did in the old game?
But that's what I mean. Like, I know
like hand-drawn.
people. I know there are probably some real hardcore fans for this game, and if you are, I am like again, like for David. But even he's saying this UI looks so bare bones. What is this?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
What is the color? This is a terrible UI.
What would you? They put the color into everything else. Everything else looks phenomenal.
But that's
like,
what I'm
the
saying.
overworld looks fucking great.
Everything. That's what I'm saying. This is like my one. And I know people always have their one little fucking nitpick about something that just prevents it from being a 10. This is a 9.5 for me already. Like, just the way it looks and all of it. But this fucking UI looks so like just like whatever, black and some little meters. Here you go, some shitty fucking white font for the numbers and names. There you go. There's a UI for you. Like, they could have done something with it. And like, and this is again going off of the fact that Paper Mario and all the others that have come before, and even Superstar Saga, had great fucking looking UIs.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, this is what you're gonna like. I mean, look, again, let me preface this by saying, I'm not saying this game is shit or anything like that. You may take it away as such, but what I'm saying is that y'all just literally made the greatest cake, and someone just took like a speck of shit and just dropped it on like the top of it instead of the cherry. That's what it is. Like, it's so fucking good until you look at the top of it. That's what it is.
I don't feel like that's the best analogy, because even if there was a tiny little droplet on a cake, no one's gonna want to salvage the cake. There was literal fecal matter on top of it. I think I get the analogy you're making. I think it's a little extreme.
Fine. But y'all know what I mean, though. It's just this one thing. One fucking thing.
Look, I'm being facetious, alright? I'm sorry.
No, but you know what I mean, though.
Wait, facetious.
Fuck you.
But yeah. First of all, not the finished product. They could change it by the time it comes. It drops in a couple months.
I know, November, but it's like, come on, you're presenting this to everybody.
No one gave a fuck.
No. I think some people have. I give it like a.
I noticed it. I will say I noticed it.
Give it a week or two, and some people will be popping up on the "I thought we're gonna be dismantled" subreddits and start talking about like that, you know, everyone's just gonna say it. I have a feeling a lot of people are gonna say it. Not like a great amount, but like a good amount where it's gonna be like a bit of a vocal minority, where it's gonna be like, guys, this trailer's great. And it's always going to be the same stupid clickbaity fucking titles that they have for the subreddit posts. Or it's like, but, and then they go into why, like there's this one fucking thing that they just don't like about it. And to be fair, again, everything else, every fucking thing is stupendous. It's just this fucking bare bones, like stock ass UI that they got from fucking like
Bro,
a Unreal Engine or something that they just slapped it on there and said, "Here you go, there you go. There's a
I
UI
will
for
say
you."
that, but we are also literally going to get a full, damn near orchestral sounding OST of Mario RPG.
I know. That's
Literally,
why I'm just saying, it's such
James
a pain in the ass to even
Rivers.
talk about this.
Y'all know Rivers, the top Ultimate player. He's a very, very good friend of mine. He's already listening to some of the OST that's been like leaked and posted on YouTube, and he's pogging off over it already. And he only very recently played and finished that game, ironically enough, and he said he loved it. So they have like Gonz level opinions about games. No disrespect to Gonz, that's my boy. I love him too, but like, you know, they can be haters sometimes, and they loved that fucking game.
And I'm not hating. I'm just saying that they could have just gotten something a little more for the UI. That's it. Just a little more is all I'm asking.
I'm also just saying, 5 months, bro. Not finished product. They can change.
Okay.
You never know. We've seen stuff like that happen before. Like I remember Ultimate Mario's render looked terrible in the demos. Like he looked like fucking clay. That shit looked awful, and then they fixed it for the finalized product, which came out pretty soon after that. So. Yeah, but here's the reason we're pogging off over Mario RPG so much for all the Zoomers who might not even recognize this game. It's called Mario RPG because it is quite literally the first Mario RPG. It came out in 1996, literally like the month I was born, I believe, if I'm not
Made by the
mistaken.
same guys who made Final Fantasy.
Yep, that's
Square.
You beat me to it, my friend. The reason it is as beloved of a game as it is because Super Mario RPG, as you could probably tell, like if you watched the trailer today by the art style that you saw, like how Mario, again, squished like an accordion, the game is fucking weird. It's a weird-ass game. It is
probably the most
weird.
unique Mario game I think you will ever see. And this is the first of its kind, too. Like,
yes, and the reason for that is not only because Dennis said it's the first of its kind, where you have like action commands, like in the Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi games, and like a Mario RPG where
turn-based
like,
combat,
unique toads, characters, turn-based dialogue, a fully fleshed, like written, like beats, beginning, middle, end story, and all that shit. It's also because the reason the game is so beloved and very unique is because it feels like some sort of weird vaporwave-ish fever dream. Because Mario RPG, the very unique thing about that game is it's Square Enix's take on the Mario universe, which is just so cool. Like to have another company with their own unique art styles and their own unique like atmosphere and everything.
Who are already established too,
yes,
mind you.
Take their portrayal on a famous intellectual property like that. And that is a charm that, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm not saying all the other Mario RPGs are worse, because I don't even think that's true.
No, I don't think anyone does.
All the Mario RPGs after that don't have that same charm and aesthetic that Mario RPG has, because Square didn't make those. They literally got the RPG fucking masters to make this game.
That is true.
They're like, Miyamoto's like, I want to make a Mario in an RPG. And then he's in the boardroom just smacking his fist like, who is the best RPG makers in the industry? And like one of the very like shy like Japanese like businessmen who just like made it to the boardroom is like,
Yamato-san?
What?
You have to speak up.
Square? Why are you describing a shapes to me? I know what a fucking square is. Okay.
Okay, wait.
Mind you, was an oval.
Mind you,
has to be a circle.
This is before they became Square Enix too. They were Squaresoft years before until they had a bit of a merger around like the 2000s, then became Square Enix. And Square Enix then went on to make all the great fan fiction ass fucking bangers that y'all know, like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VII and all that. I know they were still Squaresoft by Final Fantasy VII, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Square was a joint project between Square, Disney, and I think Sony as well, since by that time they were strictly PlayStation. But everyone knows how well that venture, ended up being. And for this case, yes, they were Squaresoft before they became Square Enix. And they already were very much established as far as the RPG and kind of not JRPG, but just strictly RPG genre goes. They were almost considered like the masters by that point. And even by that, by the time they got approached for this game, there really was no one that was even up to their class when it came to RPGs.
They were the RPGs.
Yeah.
The RPG makers. And so they got the best ones to do it. And to put in perspective, like, how much of a crossover it was, and this is very... I guess this isn't even spoilers for the story of Mario RPG. It's like a, I guess, bonus section of it, so skip, like, literally 30 seconds ahead through the podcast right now if that'll bother you. There is a boss in this game that when you beat it, it plays the Final Fantasy victory fanfare.
Oh, I
Straight
love
up.
that.
I love it so fucking much, dude.
I hope
and it sort of plays the same way as the old Final Fantasies, where you have one party leader that's always in your party, Mario, and then later on you get more party members down the line that you can swap and adjust as needed. And those are the 5 characters you see on the front. You probably recognize most of them, except for that little pastry puff-looking fuck. And that
Is he a new addition?
And that Jeff Dunham-ass marionette. No, Mallow was in the original game.
Okay. Because I'm looking at the original box. They at least didn't put him in. At least the 2 of them they didn't put him in.
No, they didn't, because
I feel as if for marketing reasons it made sense.
Yeah,
it's
they
like,
just wanted all
two
the
fucks?
characters to be recognizable, yeah. And the other one you probably recognize just because of how often Twitter went off about this character and how much of a humongous fan favorite he is. That little puppet-looking fuck. His name's Gino. And
he's a badass, though. That's
he's literally such a bad... He's literally not even the pup... Well, no, that's actually a story spoiler, so I'm
okay.
That's actually
not going into spoilers,
story spoilers. Yeah. But he's a beloved character. People have been asking to be in Smash Brothers forever, but he's just not fucking relevant enough. And now he actually kind of is, like, after a remaster. Like, I would actually not be surprised at all if in the next Smash game, and God knows how many years that happens down the line, they actually do put Gino in, because he's one of the most requested characters. They always make him a Mii fighter, and always make him a Mii costume, because they know. They always take, like, the characters that are the most requested, but they're like, we can't put them in Smash, fuck you. And then they just do that. Now Gino actually has, like, relevant... He has actual probable reason to be in the game now. I would not be surprised that they put him in.
I almost feel
and he's gonna be lame as fuck, because he's gonna be a fucking zoner. Play the game, you'll learn why.
Well, we don't know nothing yet, but
yeah, I'm getting a little ahead of myself right here.
I at least feel there's gonna be a resurgence of his popularity with this game. I think a lot of younger fans too, like, they probably heard about the game like every now and then, but like they never really, like, you know, for a lot of people where some games are just out of their age, out of their, like, sort of I guess they're
it's just before their time.
Yeah, before their time. Like, it's just like you're not really gonna go out and try to, like, play it, like, just to at least see. Like, I don't think the curiosity really extends even that far. But I think now with this remake, I really do feel that he's going to be appreciated again. Because, again, I never really got to play the RPG either. So this is going to be my first blind...
you still haven't played it?
No, that's why. Like, this is going to be my blind playthrough. And it's the reason why that I even told David, I have to fucking finish Tears of the Kingdom. But that game looks as if it's going to be like a fucking 3-month affair, because it's just like... Or even longer, because it's just Tears of the Kingdom, like...
For what it's worth, you can stop playing Tears of the Kingdom, then play Mario RPG, because it's an RPG, it's long, but it's not like it's not Final Fantasy long. It's called Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Every world or every section of the overworld that you go to, you get a different star. It's like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. So it actually, who am I kidding? It's a long game.
Yeah, it is a long game. That's why I'm saying, like, RPGs, like, they're such a big, like, time investment for it.
It has RPG in the goddamn title, David. What are you?
And even like
saying?
having it like being compared to Tears of the Kingdom, where I'm sure a lot of you have already played and finished, and, you know, maybe a lot of you are still playing it. I'm still playing it. I barely even got to go past like the first couple levels because I am such a fucking ADHD, like ADD, like fuckhead when it comes to like playing games and finishing them, because it's like I'm such an ape, because literally I remember telling you guys, like, when I bought Tears of the Kingdom, it was just kind of like, oh, look, there's Tears of the Kingdom. I just like bought it on a whim, and then for a while at least, like before it even came, I hadn't even finished the first Breath of the Wild. I had finished it, so I was like, okay, now time to start Tears of the Kingdom. And literally, I even then bought the Super Mario All-Stars, where it was 64, Sunshine, and also Galaxy. And I'm just like halfway through fucking Sunshine, so it's like, it's so like a lot of...
Are you hundoing it?
I'm trying to.
Oh, that's not fun.
I know, exactly. I heard Sunshine is like
the worst one to 100%.
It's also, yeah, and it also is like one of the most like unforgiving out of all of them. And I kind of feel it, because when I played this game way back when, I hadn't touched it until like when I bought the All-Stars. I hadn't touched it again since then. Not even when I was running Dolphin for a while and like playing GameCube games on my computer. I never touched Sunshine, even when I had the emulator. And now that I picked it up and I'm a bit like older and wiser, like, and I know when you're a bit older, like you sometimes there is like that little shift where like you have a bit more patience and you don't. I definitely don't have a lot more patience as I used to, and Sunshine has such bullshit fucking limitations in the game that like it just frustrates me to no end, because it's like I knew guys who were like at least my age when this game was out way back when who did beat this game 100%. And I even remember seeing playthroughs of Mount Corona, like the last level before you hit Bowser at the end. That fucking level sucks ass. That final level can suck my asshole. It is so terrible just looking at it. It is such a torture fest of the player that you know that the devs got a kick out of just putting all these shitty ass obstacles in front of you and then just laughing their asses off, knowing that like, this is gonna take like a couple days. And then they're like, just let him like go nuts with it. But
the worst part about Sunshine isn't even that. I mean, there's that, but like, here's the thing. It is the hardest and most tedious Mario game to 100%. And it's funny you mention its limitations, because like it's literally even like one of the less limited Mario games, because the movement is very intricate in that. Not very intricate, but just very advanced as compared to some of the other Mario games, and it's still open world as opposed to Galaxy. But like, here's the fucked up, it's the blue coins. That's the fucked up part. Because there are blue coins. You need to get all the blue coins to 100%. The game gives no indication or hints as to where they are throughout the whole times. And there are blue coins that are not only hidden in certain levels, but in certain missions within certain levels. And there's no tracker in the game to tell you
there's no map,
world that
there's
they're
no
in.
nothing.
No level or nothing. It's fucked. I really tried so hard during 2020 when I got the game to 100% the game without a guide.
I can't.
2 times I had to look up 2 coins. I had to. I fucking had to, because I'm not running around the entire game looking for 2 fucking coins. I couldn't do it.
As soon as I booted up the game, I straight up just threw up a guide on my tablet and just like, I just told myself, fuck this, no. Like, because here's the thing. There's a lot of games out there, like, at least for a bit.
And I forgot to mention, the hardest one to 100%, and you get nothing for it.
No, not even. Yeah, you don't get nothing. You get the same ending cutscene at the end, and that's it.
You get rewards in Mario 60. No, you get a postcard. A postcard, like, you did it.
I can't even print this shit out either, so it's like...
You get shit for beating Mario 64, Galaxy 2,
Sunshine
Odyssey.
just said, like, fuck you.
Dude, in a lot of ways, that game is quite the black sheep.
I love Sunshine just because GameCube was my shit. Back when I was younger, I liked it more than 64, just because at least like, Mario wasn't so polygony compared to like 64, which like, again, like people will say, oh, boo, disrespecting Super Mario 64. Come on, man. We all want that game to get an HD remaster. It is almost begging for it at this point, but I almost don't want them to either, because I almost feel like this game is straight up history. 64 is history. And
it's one of the most important video games ever made.
And that's why, like, I almost even don't want them to do an HD remix.
Which they did, in a way, sort of did, because they did make Mario 64 DS, but it's not.
Which, like, doesn't really count either, though, in my opinion. Because it's like, like I'm talking, like, just straight up, like, 1080p, like, fucking remake. But it's like, I almost don't want them to either, because it's like, this game almost is too good. Significant, too. To even get a remake.
Like, don't touch it.
Exactly, yeah, just don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
I almost don't even want them to touch...
Plus, the speedrunners won't like it, because the backwards long jump is not going to be in that shit.
That, and also, even for Sunshine, I almost don't even want them to touch it either. I feel like, when I booted it up, I was like, went back to my old days, when I was like, just playing GameCube. And I almost don't want them to touch that. Like, also, to be fair, Sunshine looks better than most games that came out of the fucking GameCube anyways. Like, so I've really, like, I guess if you wanted, like, okay, throw some more bloom and shit in there, but it's like, other than that, like, you really don't need to touch it. Like, it doesn't need anything.
That's pretty much all they did with, like, the 3D All-Stars ones. They touched up some textures, but they pretty much still look exactly the same.
Because they just needed to be scaled to 1080p for TVs.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Like,
plus, it's also widescreen Mario Sunshine, except for 64, which they
so that's why,
like, fucking...
Like, other than that, like, for terms of, like, back-end type stuff, at least for resolution, like, I get that. But other than that, like, none of it needs to be changed. Like, especially Galaxy. What the fuck did Galaxy need to be changed?
3D All-Stars is the definitive way to play Galaxy, and I'm not even kidding.
Does it fix a lot of its issues from the past?
Well, nothing. You just don't have to use the Wiimote and nunchuck. You have the
Oh,
gyroscope.
yeah, that's true. You just use the Pro Controller.
Pro Controller, and it has the gyroscope in it as well. Plus, the game also, they did touch some stuff up, and it's in HD, which that game, the only thing holding Mario...
It just
Mario Galaxy was too beautiful of a game to be stuck on the Wii. It was too gorgeous of a game to be stuck on the Wii.
Fair. And, considering the Wii barely even ran.
Fucking
Everyone knows.
Cables.
Yeah. Yeah. Holy shit. Like that's
it's literally the definitive way to play Galaxy, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that's why even just going back to RPG now, and like even just like the rest of the direct, because like we are going to talk about this for a little bit, because other than RPG, which again, your boy is probably, and you're right, it was 60. So, you know, I guess that makes sense. If they made this 70, I would have been mad.
Oh, me too.
I was really worried that they were going to pull some shit and just be like, it is... I would have even been more mad. Here's the thing. I said I was going to be mad if they said it was 70. I would have been even more mad if they said, it's $65.
That would
like, if they pull some pussy shit like that, I'm like, you guys are such cunts.
It wouldn't be worse, but in a way, it would feel more insulting.
It would, yeah.
For it to be 65 as opposed to 70.
Like, here's the thing. That's the thing.
as
what
weird
you just
as that
said, right? I would have been mad. I would have been mad at 70. I would have been insulted at 65. That's how it goes. I don't know what it is. Like,
yeah, I told you they weren't going to make it 50 though. That I told you.
No, yeah, true. Yeah, even like you said, Link's Awakening.
Yeah, the Link's Awakening remaster. Yeah,
I mean, but Link's Awakening looks beautiful. Like, I mean, you know, you get like it looks great.
Do you remember Rawest Forest?
No.
That Mario RPG song on Newgrounds?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you never heard that?
Uh-uh.
Oh, you got to qualify for a veterans discount if you remember that. Like, the game has such a dedicated fan base that people made, like, you know like the Forest Maze song, like
sounds a bit familiar. Yeah.
Oh, it's from Mario RPG. It's the Forest song.
Oh.
It's like one of everybody's favorite songs in that game. It's like the game's most iconic, like, overworld track, in my opinion, is that, like, there's a forest section, the music goes unbelievably hard for no reason.
And now it's going to be in perfect orchestral
Oh
goodness.
my god, I didn't even think about that. They're going to remaster fucking Forest Maze.
But also, you're not going to be able to find that song on Spotify because Nintendo are assholes when it comes to music. I hate that people still have to rip the game's music files and put them up on some fucking website.
What are you talking about? It's a portable console. Just take it with you in your backpack and put headphones.
Imagine people bring switches around like as if they're fucking boom boxes.
They said to do that for Smash Ultimate. They literally said to do that for Smash Ultimate, dude. I'm not even kidding. But
so
anyway,
tedious.
It's just such a beloved game. For a lot of reasons. You have to play it to understand. It literally feels like a Final Fantasy Mario game. That's the best way I could describe it. And it has that, like, immersive, vaporwave-ish aesthetic to it as well. It's one of my soul games, basically. It came out, like, the month I was born. And
1996.
First time I played it was on the Wii Virtual Console, and I had such a bad day at middle school because I got, like, bullied by one kid, and I faked being sick to get home just because I was so anxious and overwhelmed and stuff. And then because I was so sad, my mom gave me some money to buy a game on the Virtual Console, which she did for me sometimes. And the game I bought was Mario RPG because I knew what it was, and I never got to play it because it was before my time. And Nintendo did the Virtual Console stuff to let old people beyond that generation play the games, and which I was always so obsessed with because I thought there was a whole world of games I'm going to be able to have. I never got to have Mario 64. I never owned an N64 until I was an adult. And so I played that game when I was in a very sad, like, emotional growing state as a child, and the way that game took me out of that and into this beautiful, colorful, explosive, like, gorgeous, well-written world is the kind of stuff that helped shape me into a creative as much as Mario 64 did. So Mario RPG is one of my soul games. So if I tell you guys that this morning I cried literal, real tears at this shit, people were adding me on Twitter to check if I was okay. I'm not even kidding.
I remember, I like peeked your Twitter for a little bit, and I was just like, "Damn, he going off!" Like,
I was going off, and then fucking Ooble added me, but like, y'all should probably check on David.
I'm kind of concerned, guys. Like, he's just like going off on Twitter.
I just replied with that GIF of Yoshi falling down the stairs, just dead. I literally was crying, and it is so rare that a game gets me that excited and makes me feel like a kid again watching it, that I get that excited watching ones. I was trying not to cry. It like the tears were just flowing out of me. That was just my soul being poured watching this fucking trailer. And I just couldn't believe it. So the game has such an unbelievable charm to it that can only be further described by its score, its story, and the way
just the aesthetic.
You just have to fucking play it. Please buy that game.
Game is charming as fuck.
I think it's not on Nintendo Switch Online. I'm kind of spoiled. I also have a SNES Mini. Which, by the way, if you want to play the original, you can. I have a SNES Mini. You can borrow it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and borrow that.
Oh, I'm so happy that they that's some respect right there that they added in because I know the SNES Mini only has
30 games to pick,
but it's like the most influential ones.
We
I
have
guess
to pick the cream of the crop, the most influential games, and they put Mario RPG on there.
Thank fuck,
but not fucking Donkey Kong Country 2.
Why?
Because it's got Donkey Kong Country.
Can I ask? What game took that? What is the most low tier game that took 2's spot? Because that's just some arbitrary shit, I feel.
Let me check, actually. Hold up. List of SNES Mini games.
That's some horseshit.
How many games?
Also, guys, fun fact, just to at least show you how much of a role Square was on by the time they even made RPG Stars.
Secret of Mana is on there, but that's a pretty beloved game.
They went on to make 7 the year afterwards.
Oh, Star Fox 2, which they never released anywhere, so they decided to put Star Fox 2 on there. There was a second Star Fox game for the SNES.
Did they localize it for the US?
No, the game was they never released it anywhere.
So it's just in Japanese?
No, it's English. They didn't even release it in Japan, I think, so they released it for the SNES Mini. Don't even get hype. Don't even get hype. I heard it was ass. But
okay.
I don't know. Ghouls and Ghosts. No, pretty much everything here is iconic. So I guess, but they could have thrown Donkey Kong Country 2 in there. That's one of the best fucking platformers ever made.
2 was with
that's the one with
Diddy and Pixie, right? Oh, Dixie,
Dixie, yeah.
Was it Pixie or Dixie?
Dixie.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just another slur of one of the best Donkey Kong games not having Donkey Kong be playable.
It's a bit of an insult, ain't it?
No, it's just the way it is. He's not playable in most of them when you actually get right down to it, which is pretty fucking funny.
Okay, I think that might be why then. Because then, it's like, you're here for Donkey Kong. You see his game.
No. They have the original Donkey Kong on the NES Mini. You don't play as DK in that shit.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway.
I guess you're right, yeah.
Let's move on. This is why we split it in 2 parts.
Yeah, because we're going to be...
We're going to be talking for a while. And we pretty much only talked Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that there is a fucking brand new 2D Mario game.
And now...
With...
Best girl.
With best girl. Fully playable. Daisy is official. People don't even realize this. Daisy is officially not a side character anymore.
Oh, I guess that is true, yeah.
Straight up. Full fucking stop. As if her being in Smash Brothers wasn't enough proof of that, I guess. Which is already crazy enough that they put Daisy in Smash, even though she's a clone, I guess. But still, Daisy is now playable in a mainline Mario game. Maybe
Nintendo finally just went through that Rule 34. It's like, wow.
No, there's no fucking way.
They're ninjas. They're always just they just been through it.
There's no way. Just at the headquarters, they're like, ooh, that's a kind of hot, actually.
I didn't know they rub a Daisy that much. They're like, no. They first close their office door.
Y'all didn't see me. I started putting my hand down my pants.
And then it's gonna be like.
Hadoshi! Not to know!
Mario!
God. They just knock on the door as he's finishing,
Miyamoto, you in there?
Hadoshi! It's time for the meeting! Where are you? Just a second!
Just 2 seconds! And you just hear him go, oh!
It's an ectoplasm. This game looks nuts. It's funny, we talked about this way on the podcast earlier back. What the hell is the future of 2D Mario? Because they made Mario Maker, which is the infinite Mario level game, basically. You can even make your own overworlds in that shit if you want to.
Ooh,
so you can just make your own, you can make your own world maps in Mario Maker and everything. So
didn't they make a second one?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the second one, they have like a map maker and stuff because it was a Wii U game and the Wii U died, so we gotta make a sequel, put it on the Switch.
Yeah, how are you not gonna bring that to the Switch? Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah.
Which people were complaining forever. They're like, people are like, how Nintendo, holy shit, get on this. Which like, they did eventually.
I love how people just throw insults at Nintendo. It's just like, how stupid are you that you don't bring, like, clearly one of your best games out into this new system?
Every summer when Evo comes around, Nintendo just catches hands for no fucking reason. They have, like, nothing to do with that shit. Like, they have, like,
everyone just, like, waving the signs around, like, Nintendo's stupid. Where's Star Fox? Where is Star Fox?
Where is Star Fox?
Where is Star Fox?
I can't complain. I'm eating too good.
I know, yeah, I know. It's just
wallet.
Always something
my wallet hurts so bad.
It's always going to be something that I bring up to. Like, where's Star Fox?
I will too.
Until they bring it, I'm gonna always say it. Where my boy? Where is
fucking underrated ass franchise, man? It's ridiculous.
Furry Top Gun.
Furry Top Gun.
It literally is just furry Top Gun, man.
I know, man. That's the funny part. Maybe that's why they see it as. Maybe they see it as like one of their less inspired franchises because they're like, this shit is just a furry Top Gun. What the fuck were we thinking?
Fox is just basically Maverick.
He's originally Tom Cruise. Yeah, still the best actor who could play Fox in the movie. By the way, I really hope they do that.
Hands fucking down, man.
Yes, but yeah. So we were wondering, like, what is the future of 2D Mario? They literally can't make another new Super Mario Brothers game. It's not going to sell as well because we have Mario Maker now.
Unless they bring something different for this one, I don't know what it would be.
So they did. Like, I mean, the art style is completely different. Like the characters, their sprites literally look like the 2D. Like Mario, like art drawn, you know, like the Mario style, like the official Mario art that they make and stuff.
Or the little the 32 or 16-bit
just the drawings, the literal drawings that they make.
Oh, okay.
Like the promotional materials and stuff that they make with Mario and Luigi and stuff on them, like those old like sort of SNES looking renders.
Yeah.
Those are like their 2D like art style for Mario's, and that's what they decided to base the sprites off of, but like in 3D, like 2.5D. Like it sort of looks like the drawing version of Mario. He looks like a fucking kind of like a Popeye cartoon with the way he moves and with the way the physics and jiggle physics work on his body and his face. Which fun fact, Mario was actually based off of Popeye, but that's a discussion for
the positioning time. Too of like his kind of his little avatar, or I guess like, you know, of him on the screen kind of reminds me of like the same angle that he was in Super Mario 2. Like that same sort of like kind of weird, like I'm kind of facing you, but I'm not really facing you. Like he's not just like just side profile. Like you literally see like a good chunk of like his face. Like
like it looks like Mario, but it doesn't because the game was originally not Mario, and they sort of just pasted the sprites over it.
Yeah, I remember that.
As a result, created its own art style with it.
And that game is actually beloved too, like Super Mario 2.
Mario 2? Yeah, that game's fucking phenomenal.
I mean, I think I remember people saying like Mario 3 kind of like supplanted it as like the superior one. Because like Nintendo was always just kind of like always out there like, you know, breaking the barriers and like just surpassing their limits like every time they could.
Yeah.
And like 2 and 3 like is like just like that little progression that we've seen. And then, you know, eventually we just got Super Mario 64 because that was just kind of like the natural sort of little progression that we were seeing.
Yeah.
But as far as like also the other announcements.
They can turn Mario into an elephant. Who else can they turn into an elephant?
I feel as if they kind of saw like how people was receptive to Odyssey and was just like, wait. We had the Mario turn into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Why don't we make him into an elephant?
Dude, I'm scared.
Fuck it, why not? Sky's the limit.
I'm scared at the Rule 34 for this one.
Oh no.
With like Peach and Daisy turning into that thing, or if they turn into different animals, I'm actually like terrified.
Have you ever actually seen like Mario?
By accident, yes.
Oh, Rule 34, you actually seen it?
Yeah, by accident before, yes. If
okay. I was like, damn, you actively... I didn't know you loved Mario that much, bro.
No, you jackass.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention the fact that there's a flower that makes you drop acid. And like the whole world just changes.
Oh, I just realized that. Oh,
and they also didn't even just make it like a mainline thing. They're just like, let's just make everybody playable. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toads, Yoshi's, different color Yoshi's if you want to play as different Yoshi's, and fucking Daisy on top of this as well. I wouldn't be shocked if they announced more about this game later and they put fucking like Wario or Waluigi in it on top of that.
Oh, that'd be hype.
Yeah.
That would
and
be.
obviously 4-player co-op as well on top of that.
Which we love.
Which we love to see. Which it would have been kind of inexcusable to not have that in a game like this.
Not to mention, too, it's kind of a dying thing. Even 2-player co-op is a bit of a dying thing now.
No, it's not. There's literally a Sonic new Super Mario Brothers game coming out.
No, but even for like for certain games like that had co-op that don't have it no more, like especially Halo. They promised, and I know people might say like, okay, well, Halo's not Mario, and yeah, you're right on that. But I'm just saying though that Halo is still a significant ass franchise, and significant IP as well, and like their entire like foundation was the co-op experience. And none of their more recent games even have it, and that's why I'm just saying that I'm thankful that Mario is still continuing it because even 3D World and the Super Mario U Deluxe that I had recently gotten, which is also like another 2D like sort of 2D Mario, that one also has like 4-player co-op, and like it's just so. Like, at least for me, coming off of the age where, like, I had cousins where we all played, like, Mario Party, all 4 of us, and sometimes there was always that 5th or 6th cousin that just couldn't play because, like, we only had 4 controllers, but I'm just saying, like, that age was one that I'm very fond of, and I'm at least, like, we always give shit to Nintendo, as they well deserve, but if there's anything that I can at least praise for them is that they kept that going, the sort of 2 to 4-player co-op, because...
Huggabees said it best. Nintendo being as old-fashioned as they are is both the worst and best thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's the worst because, they don't...
Business-wise, it's the worst.
So against emulation and, like, won't like, allow their music to be posted anywhere, shit like that. All, like, the dumb ways about how they're overprotective with their IP. But the overprotection of, like, their IPs also assures quality. Their games are almost always fucking good.
There has never been a shitty Mario game. There has never been one.
There's never been a shitty mainline one, I will say. And even the ones that are shitty outside of it, there's even some contention as to, like, some of those games.
Yeah, like Hotel Bowser, like, I mean, people might...
Or, like, some of the Mario Sports games on the Switch and, like, the newer Paper Mario games and shit like that and all that. All
Wii
that junk,
Sports
but,
is better than all the Mario Sports games. If you want to play a sports game on the fucking Switch, just get Wii Sports.
I would say it's better
Switch
than
Sports.
all of them, but it's better than all the ones on the Switch. The Switch sort of dropped the quality a little bit, but it's like it makes you think. Like, you feel bad for some kids who don't even have that, and all they play are online games.
Yeah, exactly. Like Call of Duty and stuff.
Get some friends together in a room, drink if that's your thing or
like
whatever.
For a lot of COD players, you may be surprised, especially if you came into the series pretty late, before 4 and Modern Warfare, like Modern Warfare 2 and 3, where like the multiplayer like was just kind of like at its peak, competing with even Halo. And you may even forget that we had local co-op for those games. World at War even too. Like, we had it all. Like,
split screen,
yeah. Like, thing. It's just
screen cheating.
And that's why I'm saying that I'm so appreciative that they are still continuing that, and like actually still like it's still persisting, because in this day and age, we don't really have that anymore. At least as far as local co-op is concerned. Like, a lot of the games back then that used to have it don't even have it on their radar anymore. COD and Halo were like 2 of the biggest ones, and even way back when, going back to Nintendo, like GoldenEye was also one that we all played, like 4-player, even though everyone, screen cheated, of course they did, and the TV screen was so fucking small that like literally you'd have to squint to like see where the fuck your like friend or cousin was at. It's like, where the fuck are you? Like, and all I'm saying is that like I'm just happy that they're still doing, is all I'm saying. Yeah.
Can I just say, I agree with you completely, but can I also just say something? You know what Mario actually looks like in this game, in Super Mario Brothers Wonder?
What?
He looks like 7 Granddad.
Who the fuck is that?
Google 7 Granddad right now. And just go to images. Tell me what you see.
Okay, I have never seen this before. Wow.
You never seen that before?
Nope.
That is a bootleg Russian NES game.
He looks like Nega Mario.
He basically is. You want to know what the game actually is when you boot it up?
What?
It's the Flintstones.
Oh yeah, I'm
the
seeing it. Yeah,
that they just put Mario's head on. That was the inspiration for Silva Gunner's channel. You know, like the opposite of Gilva Sunner that posted all like the high quality video game rips. And so basically what this guy did, Silva Gunner, is that he would take the high quality video game rips, make them look exactly like Gilva Sunner videos, but then it would just be the Flintstones theme song, like with the game's assets, whatever the particular assets was, and then it just devolved into like popular music, like being played in like, you know, the video game soundtracks, like, you know, a song like "Shawty's like a melody in my head." Like somebody took like the music, the bluegrass sounds from like Slider from Mario 64, and they had like the accordion sort of playing that, so it went like. They did stuff like that, basically, and that bootleg game, it was what the inspiration for that was. But, like, the reason I'm bringing it up is because, like, the art style on the front, the way Mario's jumping, it's like that old, like, 2D, like, Mario, like, two-dimensional art that they used to make and still make in sort of a modernized way, and that is what they decided to base the art style off of in the new game, because they knew they had to make it different from New Super Mario Brothers. We're actually getting, like, more 2D Mario, and, like, a new 2D Mario in, like, a different way, man. Never thought I'd see the day for God knows how long, man. But, like, I'm watching the trailer off my side-eyed right now. And they say fuck it with even just, like, you know, just having your fucking characters. Put Daisy in it. You can play as Daisy.
Yeah, fuck it, yeah. And that's why I wanted to go into this point right now where... I know I mentioned it before, like, I really do think that... I think as far as Nintendo's pipeline is concerned for especially this console's product cycle, I'm not saying it's ending soon, but I think we're getting closer than we ever were to the announcement of when
next
they're going to... until they're going to finally say it's going to be end of life, and this is essentially what we're going to be, like... I mean, whatever the direct is going to be for next year, because like they still got Pikmin 4 and everything else like still coming out, and that's the thing, like I don't know what else they would have after this. Like, I mean, here's the thing. If this direct was the send-off, like, if this was, like, the last direct for this console, it'd be an appropriate one, I feel. Like, you're, like, all you, like, you know, crybaby mouth breathers that wanted RPG, HD and remastered, you finally got it. And we finally have another 2D Mario that, like, is... I think there's I mean, maybe people may disagree, like, I guess, as to how much more they could push the boundaries for 2D Mario. But it's like, hey, we made another one. And y'all are gonna buy it. Y'all are gonna play it. So, you know, like, at that point, like, that's why, like, at least in my head, it's like, other than Metroid, I guess, yeah, there's really no bigger... like titles that are on the way after this.
Wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo's next console is actually backwards compatible again. I hope. If they bring... No, they're going to bring backwards compatibility in, and because of how many games they ported over to the Switch and, like, the high volume of sales, people aren't going to want to just immediately drop all that, buy all those games again for the next console coming in.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think what they're going to do is for the first time ever, I think they're going to make the games backwards compatible, and they're going to let you bring your save data over to the new console. On top of releasing new games for it.
I could also see it. I could see it. Yeah.
I can actually see them doing that for the first time. As you might think that financially makes no sense, but Nintendo has never been that company.
But I even think, though, financially, it does make sense, doesn't it? I mean, maybe I'm no, like, finance guy, so, like, okay, I can't argue, like, I guess too much in terms of the numbers, but it's like, why would you... Like, I mean, here's the thing. People think, like, oh, like, in terms of alienation, right? Why would Nintendo want to alienate their fan base by basically saying that, hey, you remember that console you guys invested like 6-7 years of your fucking life and money and time into, like, you know, just building your collection and also even just kind of like, you know, playing all these great games? Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna basically axe that like the same way we did the 3DS and also the Wii and the Wii eShop and all of that, and just kind of you're gonna be then pushed and shoved into this new console that we're basically making, and also, by the way, it's not backwards compatible. I think, honestly, even financially, if we're just going to frame it that way, it makes no sense to do that. Because, first of all, like, I mean, people will even argue, like, okay, like, well, people still ate the Switch up when it first came out. Yes, it kind of was a little wonky when on the first couple of years, but it's like, at the very least, people still bought this shit. People even bought multiple Switches, too, which... kind of blew my mind, but it's like, hey, like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like, and after a while, the library grew and grew until the finally like, okay, like this console is now established at the very least. Like it's been around, like it's got some great games, and at the very least people are buying it and people want to switch. Like at least the first couple years, right? And this is all just kind of me like saying hearsay at this point because it's like I haven't really researched it, but
I agree with you.
But yeah, but then like now, you know, okay, the product cycle's over now, or at the very least, like it got delayed a bit because of COVID, but now it's starting to come to an end, and we're gonna be building a new console, and like, you know, we're basically gonna like axe that whole ecosystem entirely. I think really just truthfully, it doesn't make any sense. And I hope that, you know, I think David is right in the sense that like, yeah, they're probably already thinking about what this new console is going to be. I don't know, the Switch Plus or some fucking shit. It's going to be just like a no more higher end, like sort of Switch maybe. But like, because here's the thing. The Switch, I really feel, even from a design perspective and even historically, is quite possibly the most just best looking console that ever came out of Nintendo's asshole, period.
And why throw away the hybrid model?
Exactly. Like, the GameCube was one of the most polarizing fucking things I've ever seen. Like, as far as this design-wise, people just didn't understand.
Lunchbox?
Yeah, and then we got the Wii, which, I mean, it looked all right, but it's like, it's not a good-looking system, period.
It was compact, but it wasn't
and
like...
the Wii U, again, as we always have said it, and historically, it was a fucking failure off of launch and even towards the end of its cycle. It was just a straight-up failure. And then came the Switch around, and everyone just had nothing bad to say about its design, period. It just looked so great, even from just looking at it from a distance, and even holding it felt fucking good.
Being able to get multiple docks, putting them around your TV in the house so you don't have to lug the whole fucking thing around wherever you go.
Even Joy-Cons, it was all a progression too in the end, because that's what Nintendo's always been. And the Joy-Cons were the culmination of the very bricky fucking feeling you got holding a Wiimote.
Yeah.
Like, Joy-Cons at the very least, like, you know, was, I feel, a success in that when you held a Wiimote, you felt like you could bludgeon someone's fucking head open. Like, it just felt like really...
And sometimes you did.
And sometimes you did. And sometimes your TV as well. Like, because, you know, the fucking wrist strap. And Nintendo, at the very least, like, give them credit where it's due, they learned from their mistakes. They very much learned quite thoroughly from their failures from the Wii U. And even from the Wii. Even though the Wii, I feel, was a financial success, it wasn't really, as far as, like, gaming history, in my opinion, that significant, because the Wii had a lot of more shelfware than actual great games, in my opinion.
Well, here's
obviously we had some great ones from Wii, but just by the ratios, it's like the Switch really like has its own fair share of shelfware, I'll even argue. But every year we've had a banger. That's the thing.
I think they're gonna do something really different with this next console, but very much also the same. I think the next one's also gonna be a hybrid. I think it's gonna be 4K finally. I think that's what they're gonna do. I'm not even just saying this to get my hopes up. I'm saying it because like Nintendo's always been slightly behind the other, you know, companies as far as the hardware goes, as far as the graphics go and all that. Yeah. And I'm sure like once they do 4K, you know, like some other companies or consoles or whatever are gonna start trying to push that up to 8K and shit like that. We got 4090s up in this bitch now.
Yeah.
All that stuff, right? Here's the thing though. I think they're gonna do something colossally different because like Nintendo plays like they play the smart game. They do the non-greedy shit. And it works. They're greedy in other respects, like is the emulation stuff or like the music stuff, all that shit, or like their god awful YouTube partner program that they did like during the Wii U era.
Yeah,
all that stuff, right? But when it comes to like, you know, the Switch and like the new era of Nintendo, it's a little bit different. Like you mentioned, the Wii U, colossal failure. So new console. Different thing. We're going traditional with it. It doesn't have Wii. It doesn't have motion controls attached to it. We're making a normal console, and it's a hybrid console that you can play wherever you go. We innovated, but it was good innovation this time around, thank God for Nintendo. So we did it. It's great. So what does Nintendo do? Slowly port every single Wii U game to the Switch. Mario 3D Land, Skyward Sword, which is a Wii game. My bad.
HD remake though that we got for the Switch. But
yeah. Like other ones that I'm trying to think of that I can't off the top of my head for some reason. Why can't I think of like all the other like Pikmin 3? That was a huge one. They ported Pikmin 3 over and stuff. All this stuff, right? Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. That's another one. So just so many of those games that they wound up porting over to the Switch, right? So people actually buy it. The catalog of the Switch is so massive. It's so huge, and the console has sold so much. It would be a financially stupid decision.
Irresponsible, I even say.
Irresponsible, dare say, Dennis, to just make a new console. You can't play
ecosystem too.
You can't play any of these games on it. You gotta buy all of them again, even though you had just recently, within the last even year or so, just bought all of them. Go fuck yourself.
Which is a crock of shit. Because
it's not gonna happen.
Because we'll also still buy this new one. Like we'll buy it the same way as we bought the first one. But here's the thing, as long as we have that little caveat of like, okay, you promise that as far as the Switch's ecosystem is gonna be ported over to this new one, we'll buy that shit no fucking problem. We will stand outside in line to buy that shit. That's a fact. And this is the reason why too, that like I feel as if for the Wii U to the Switch, they had to kind of like axe that whole fucking ecosystem entirely from it, because it's like, again, the Switch was a failure. Oh no, the Wii U was a failure.
I don't know if you noticed, since the GameCube, it goes from sort of commercial, not technically commercial failure to huge success to commercial failure to huge success. And if Nintendo just goes the wrong way with this console being too huge of a success, and they do the old Nintendo thing, where it's just like brand new console, brand new library, you can't play any of this shit on it. Tough luck. Yeah. Even the other companies aren't doing that. A lot of the games that are on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are still on the Xbox One and the PS4. Or at least they were for a couple of years. And then they sort of started to make exclusive ones for it. And even then, a lot of the companies still aren't even doing that. Now a lot of them are. Like Mortal Kombat 1, I'm pretty sure, is only on the new consoles. And stuff like that. I don't think, and PC, obviously. I'm saying I don't think it's on the PS4 and the Xbox One. But it took years for that. And I hope that game companies learn that that's not just because of the pandemic. Don't just do that for that, because I think it's going to hurt your bottom dollar in the long run, especially Nintendo loyalty, which Nintendo has the most loyal fucking Nintendo fans in the fucking world. Maybe they feel like they could take advantage of that. I don't know, but a lot of people spent a lot of money on this console, and they do every year.
Building their libraries. Like
I personally helped assist in making the Switch the #1 selling item of Black Friday 2019 when I was doing the Nintendo program for the first time. I was literally on the fucking storefronts making sure that shit was out there. You can't even see it, but that fucking stack that Dennis just pulled out. Holy shit, I think you have more than me. I think you do. That is a fucking don't drop it.
I know I'm not gonna drop it, but guys, this is like about close to 20 games.
Does that even include the ones that you have digitally? No, right?
No, because like I have a few digitally, but
I think I have most of my Switch digital, but I have a lot of physical as well at this point. So to just say,
this is my game, time, and financial investment into this console. It is about 20 fucking stacks long. And if we're gonna times that by MSRP of all the games that I bought at, it's a good chunk of fucking money now that I realize it.
People's backlogs with the Switch are so big too, because there's just so many games that people buy on it. Everybody wants to have their game on the Switch.
How are you gonna tell people also that, hey, by the way, remember that entire library that you basically bought for over the last like 5 to 6 years? It's been invalidated because we're just gonna completely destroy this ecosystem, like how we did the 3DS, and completely phase it out, and you're just gonna be forced to go into this new ecosystem because of fuck you and goodbye.
Nintendo wants to be progressive. They do it with every new console. They want to make it like we're different than the other consoles, and they are, even though it's not always for the best, ever since the Wii. Then the Wii U failed because people thought it was an add-on, and then the Switch came around and it's huge.
They never got that clear with it. They never really got that clear with it.
Never did. Marketed terribly. Nintendo wants to be progressive, but they always do the thing the other companies are doing a little bit later. So that thing of like,
better.
Yeah. So that thing of having the Switch, like having like, Xbox One games, or the new Xbox Series X games still playable on Xbox One for a couple of years, that's smart. The same thing with the PS5 and the PS4. I think Nintendo is 1,000% going to do that with their next console. The Switch's library is too big. People bought too much of it. Just dropping like a bunch of new games on here. It's like, Mario Kart 9, whoa, you'll buy the new one now and say fuck you to every other game that you still haven't played on the Switch yet, right? Nope. I think this is going to be the first Nintendo console where they take their whole library and essentially just keep making games for it while the new console is out for a couple of years. Or port the save data over and have the new console be backwards compatible and being able to port your save data over to the new one. They have to do one or the other, or I'm telling you, if they make a new console that's not even like fucking 4K or whatever like the new, like typical standard is, I think it's going to be Nintendo's next failure. I'm telling you right now.
Going for this new console, right? Like, just even talking about it a little bit more until we like kind of move on. It's like, I even think too that like it's honestly the foundations left and made on the Switch is almost just too good also to just discard like that anyways. Like, it's improved on everything from the Wii U, and even on top of that, the Wii. Like, the same sort of like menu screen that we knew of from the first Wii, it is the Switch. The Switch's main screen is the Wii's. It's exactly the same. You almost can't really like.
Yeah, except now you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. But you just use the controller to like kind of move. But at the very least, like I stand by what I say. It's the same fucking thing. It's just obviously way more refined and just way more like sharp too compared to how the Wii was.
Even though they never added any new fucking themes besides basic white and basic black, you stupid jackass.
I mean, I think they even underestimate. It's like, yo, people will pay money for themes. I do it for fucking Steam.
Hell, there's a fucking money pit like to make like alternate costumes for Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you even just do that for your console? Like, people love to flex that shit though. That's the thing. Like, but my point aside is that, like, again, as far as what they've built now for the Switch for the last couple of years, it would be fucking retarded to just not take what you have and just build more on top of it, but now just bring it into the 21st century, because it's like, as far as the Switch goes when it comes to fidelity, it's a bit behind everybody. And I know that at least for Nintendo, graphics is not like the most important fucking thing in the world, but it's like, you know, at the very least, it's like it would be a crime not to have Mario like looking as good as it does already, at least in like 1440 or even 4K.
That
like,
is
it'd
their
be
one
stupid.
problem. Like, if it's not a Nintendo game and it's on multiple consoles, just don't get it on the Switch.
Yeah, exactly. No one wants to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got the Battle for Bikini Bottom remaster on Switch, and that is a huge regret. It is choppy as fuck on the Switch. It's so bad. I'm not even kidding. Some games I don't give a fuck. Like, I bought the Pac-Man remaster, and I'm sure that'll run fine on Switch, like, all things considered. But, like, Sonic Frontiers? You have no idea how badly I wanted to get that game on Switch, but I'm like, no, I need the definitive.
No, you need it on
experience for
PC,
this
man.
game. I need it on PC. So, yeah, if they can actually just make a normal-ass console, like, without that sort of fidelity. They were even talking about this on the official podcast recently. They would rule the fucking world. My God. And more than they already do. like
Nintendo?
Yes. Ugh.
That's why, like, I mean, because here's the thing. If they announce whatever the tech show that they're going to be going to, where they're going to announce, like, their new console, maybe it'll be next year, who knows? Maybe. But if they do, and if they even just start with just saying that, and BT dubs, before we go into this is going to be backwards compatible with your previous Switch games.
They already won.
Exactly. Like, the crowd will have already drowned out whatever they will have said next. That's how fucking crazy it would be.
And it also will have a new... Like, they're raising their volume and trying to get...
Can you quiet down, please, for 5 seconds?
One of you shut the fuck up for 5 seconds.
And
5 seconds, please.
And here's the thing, too. I'll even say this. That new console can look as ugly as sin. It could look as ugly as sin, and people will fucking buy it. It will not matter how it fucking looks. It could look like the most...
We have made a console in the shape of a Nintoonist penis. Because he is such a big fan. No one would care.
And here he is.
And here he is to present the new... I'm like waving, like, yeah, subscribe to my podcast.
This console can look as ugly as sin. It could go back to how ugly the N64 looked.
It can look like the face of a witch that slammed her broomsticks clear into a fucking brick wall and then fell face first into a lead pipe.
This will be one of the few consoles that'll kind of go in... I think... Well, I mean, when the PS5 and the Series X were sold out, that was because of, you know, the pandemic and stuff like that. But, like, I think this might be one of the few times where it might go back to when... You remember the Wii came out for the first time and how fast those fucking things were flying off the shelves?
That shit was apocalyptic.
It could go even back to that, I feel. If they announce that this shit is backwards compatible to the Switch's ecosystem and they're bringing it over to them,
they really gotta play their cards right.
It's fucking Over. And I know it sounds sensationalist, I know, but it's like, at that point, that year, 2024, they would have won. They would have won. Nothing like Sony and Xbox does will it be even remotely relevant to that. Because it's like, now they already had done that, right? PlayStation and Xbox had already done that. But now we have Nintendo finally fucking realizing, fuck yeah, let's do that too. Because it's like, it's just more money in the end anyways. Because people have already spent $300 on a Switch.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna spend another $350 or $400 for this new one.
Wait for the shitty Kotaku articles, wait for the IGN articles, whatever. They're gonna be saying the same thing me and Dennis were saying. Diving headfirst into a new ecosystem. Horrible idea for Nintendo.
Completely
it's such a bad idea.
A completely separate one too. That's the thing. It's completely just separate from the previous one. Just completely like not even related at all.
The games are now on flash drives.
Like, it's even funny to think that you would like there's a universe out there that they would make the Switch a redheaded stepchild after this new console comes out. That is wild to me.
And I love redheads.
What if they're ugly though? It's always the redheaded ugly stepchild. Well, that's the thing. The Switch is not even that ugly either. That's what would bother the shit out of me. How are you gonna just discard it like that after like it just did so well for you? Like it makes no fucking sense as far as like a product goes. Like, and I'm not saying that they have to be loyal for loyalty's sake, but it's like
the 3DS made sense to do that because they replaced it with another handheld.
Yeah, which again, it made sense. I know
people
not
actually said the same thing about the 3DS because the 3DS, oh my god, that thing sold fucking gangbusters, dude. Like that thing was huge. They even ported like the 3DS game to the fucking Switch in this direct. The second Luigi's Mansion game, they're putting that on the Switch.
I was even hoping like kind of Nintendo would they would kind of remember that little port or that little add-on they had for the GameCube where you got to play GBA games off of the GameCube.
Yeah,
you remember that add-on?
Yeah.
And they even had like the little.
I have it. I have that add-on.
Oh my god, dude, that shit must be like
a friend of mine still has the disc though. I loaned him the disc years and years and years ago. He still has the disc, but I have the fucking unit.
The little and I was like hoping like it would have been so great if like the Switch had like another add-on supposedly of where you could connect your 3DS and just smack it into the Switch dock and then there you go. 3DS games.
That's like so antiquated.
I know, but it's just like if they did. I don't know, like, it's like not, you don't have to use the console itself as a controller.
That is such 90s shit.
I know, but it's like, it's just so fucking goofy that I would have loved it if they did it. Because it's like, the way people even, like, record 3DS footage on their computers is some of the jankiest shit I've ever fucking seen.
You literally have to mod your 3DS.
Yeah, you have to send it to a guy to mod it, and then they have to send it back, and then, okay, now you can record it and plug it into your computer, and there you go. You have the footage that you're, like, you know, off the game footage, like, just live feeding onto your computer. Yeah, what?
I'm gonna tweet this. They ported Luigi's Mansion 2 to the Switch before Kid Icarus Uprising. Holy shit, that's bad. That's bad.
I mean, but you know, by that point, weren't they already started to slowly kind of like phase out the 3DS?
By now?
No, I mean, well...
recently they ported... That was in the Direct.
Okay. I got the timeline mixed up, sorry.
No, you're thinking of when they ported Luigi's Mansion, the GameCube game, the original, to the 3DS. No, in this Direct, you remember they announced that, like, hey, we're putting Luigi's Mansion 2 on the Switch. Which is good. It's going to control better on the Switch. The graphics will be a little bit better. That game, I'm curious what the fucking price tag will be. Holy shit. That shit better be... It better be $40, but I know for a fact it's not going to be $40.
It's going to be 50 easy.
Because like, if that shit's 60, I'm going to punch someone. I swear to God.
Because they also know...
Because first of all, Luigi's Mansion 2, not as good as the first one. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. It's not.
I never played the second one.
It's good.
Would you say it's a recommended buy if you wanted to play another Luigi's Mansion? At the very least, for that reason?
It is worth it for one playthrough.
Oh, okay.
I will say.
Okay.
I didn't 100% it because it's a little bit different. Like, it's not like sort of area-based like the first game is. It's mission-based. There's like 3 giant mansions that you go into, like 3 like giant overworlds basically, and like they're like basically like sort of levels. It's like individual missions that you get sent in and out of the mansion for, instead of like 4 big areas like the original game is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not.
So it's a bit okay.
It's not as good, but it's a good game. I like it.
Okay. For one good playthrough, at least, right?
Yeah, I think it's fun enough. I liked it. 3, I never played. I've only heard good things, but I own it, and I just never played it.
See, that's another example of just like the fucking backlog we all have. You can't tell me that all of y'all played all the games in your fucking library. No way.
I never played it. I have Link's Awakening. I never played it. I never finished Kirby Star Allies. I didn't even buy Forgotten Land yet. I own Mario Rabbids, and I never bought that. I never fucking played that. I didn't buy the sequel to Mario Rabbids yet, nor any of the DLC. I have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on it. Didn't play that yet either. What else? It's endless. I'm telling you, it's endless. At least, my Switch is a pit.
But this is why I'm also even saying the Switch's like good games library is fucking huge.
Dude, the Switch is literally about to be a Pikmin machine. I don't know if you realize, Pikmin 4 is coming out 1 month to the day as we are recording this. The new Pikmin game people have been... Game Miyamoto fucking announced in 2015. And was not only not on that console, but took forever to come to this one.
Yeah. Which, you know,
people have been begging for
take
Pikmin
time
4
sometimes.
forever. And with Pikmin 3 Deluxe and just announced and already released today, Pikmin 1 and 2 together for $40 on the Switch right now. They just announced and released that today. Dude, every Pikmin game is on the Switch. All of them.
But that's the bias,
except for the shitty Hey Pikmin 3DS one that they made those years back.
But that's Miyamoto's bias, because those games, at least the first one especially, was his baby. He loved like just working on it. He loved even just like it was his baby project. Like
Pikmin 2 is also widely considered by a lot to be the best one still.
And like I know that, you know, him talking to even the product managers is like they like told him like, okay, Miyamoto-san, we have like a couple more slots open for I guess support for the fiscal year. Do you have any ideas? And it's like, I want Pikmin 1 and 2. He's like, no, sir, we could only do one. I want 1 and 2. Do it.
Especially since Pikmin 2 has never been ported anywhere.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the weird black sheep of the series, low-key. Like, compared to, like, I hear more people always singing the first one's praises, which it deserves, obviously.
The first one is literally
the second one.
timed. Fuck that.
But it's like, that's what I mean. Like, people... that's why I'm saying people are fucking straight up masochists, because like people
Dude, exactly the same. Like I'm playing that as a kid and I'm like, yo, don't fucking rush me.
People
Nintendo, like
even
leave me alone.
Going off of that, people even say that Majora's Mask is their favorite Zelda. They fucking love Majora's Mask.
But don't they have like masks that like let you rewind it or something?
Oh no, they have like the Song of Time. They're like, hey, if you play, okay, going back to the first day of the 3D of the 3 days.
You can't fucking do it. He's gonna blow the whistle and like Pikmin, like do the song
basically
of time
he's just like, we're
shit.
going back to day 1, and like that's just like the whole range of the game. But that's the thing, like the first and second game, or like Majora's Mask, and even with Pikmin, like people just love the rush. I don't know what it is. Like they just like it.
I have never played Pikmin 2.
It's I played it a bit, never to completion.
It's an expensive ass GameCube.
Is it up there with Thousand Year Door as far as like?
No,
even
more?
more?
Thousand Year Door. No. Pikmin 2 is less.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like
people sell Thousand Year Door for like hundreds. I am
like fresh mint copies like that. I haven't even been opened yet.
I am never, as long as I live, getting rid of my copy of that game.
Don't
ever. Or Melee, because I also have Melee.
Oh, yeah.
Never fucking getting rid of that shit either. But yeah, new crazy games, man. And also, like, the I don't know if I just sent you screenshots for it. Is that new fucking Princess Peach game?
Oh!
Fidelity-wise, it kind of looks like Luigi's Mansion as far as the graphic qualities, though. Because Luigi's Mansion 3, I will say about that game, peak Nintendo quality. It has, like, the best graphics of, like, any, like, Mario game, like, ever.
3 is for the Switch, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The 3 is for the Switch.
Another one to add to the backlog.
Yeah. Again, Nintendo literally sent me that game. They sent me that I didn't pay for Luigi's Mansion 3. Yeah.
Wow, that's hype.
Yeah, when I was doing the Nintendo program, they sent me a copy of Mario Kart 8, which I still have. Do you own Mario Kart 8?
I do.
Okay, because I gotta give that copy.
I also Mario Kart 8, new DLC wave. Let's go. Gonna finally finish that fucking list.
They put my boy Petey Piranha back in the game.
Did they really? Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they put Petey Piranha, they put Kamek, actually, which is actually really hype, because Kamek, besides Mario Kart Tour, you know, the fucking gacha 3DS game, the gacha mobile phone game one, has never been playable in Mario Kart ever. So that's actually pretty hype. And also, I swear to Wiggler, I swear to God, if they don't put Diddy in the game, I'm actually gonna be pissed. Diddy hasn't been in Mario Kart since like fucking Wii, dude.
It makes no sense that he's not in there. That's the thing.
And again, don't talk to me about Tor. I don't count Tor. I don't count that mobile fucking gotcha game shit. Fuck that. Yeah, but like if you look at like the screenshots from the Princess Peach game, we know literally nothing about this game, and it looks fucking sick. Like graphically, it looks gorgeous.
Can I also just say something?
Yes, please.
Oh, that only Nintendo can do. This is only something that they can do, and I've never seen it from anybody, period.
You got a little jersey in that
nothing.
sense. That's how I know the passion is there.
We can know nothing about a game when it's revealed from Nintendo, but we automatically know it's gonna be a fucking banger.
It already tickles your asshole a little bit, right?
We automatically know that it's gonna tickle our balls like when we get it. And like, and I never see that reaction from anybody else ever. They could like the new COD could look like the sickest fucking trailer. It's like, oh, Ghost fucks your mom and literally like, you know, shoots up a school or whatever the fuck, and everyone's just gonna be okay. All right, wait. It shoots up an airport. My bad. And then he just goes off. The trailer ends. Call of Duty 69. Fuck your mother. Like they're gonna be out like, you know, 2024 whatever, right?
We all know what it is. And even if we didn't, Activision don't give a fuck about COD no more. They treat that game like shit. I feel bad for COD fans right now. I can't even lie. But
and we get a teaser for a 2D Peach game. People are going nuts.
Dude,
like,
because it's adorable. She has a fucking bow in her hair.
And
look,
they're like kissing.
Look, Dennis.
They're kissing the person right next to them. Like that's how hype Nintendo can make their games. And they could reveal absolutely nothing.
Y'all remember like the famous picture of that Navy person kissing a nurse? Of that Navy soldier kissing a nurse at the end of World War II?
It was like Victory E-Day, right?
One of the most famous pictures of all time because like the world is safe from this the worst global catastrophe we've ever seen. People just started fucking and shit.
Yeah.
And like, they were like, man, like making out. It was so unified and hype. That's how we get with the Princess Peach game. She has a fucking bow in her hair. It's adorable, Dennis. Look.
Everyone
Look at
just
it.
be like, oh my God, he's got a bow in her hair.
And she's got a twink next to her. And I'm not saying that as a derogatory term for homosexuals. I'm saying that because if you remember Paper Mario, her little star companion, his fucking name was Twink.
And Twink never came back. What happened to our boy Twink, man?
He probably grew up and became like an adult star spirit.
I was even gonna say like, you know, he probably became a gangbanger, probably or something. I don't know. He just had like a rough upbringing because it's like
he was forced to fight one of Bowser's minions as a child.
Like he thought Peach and him were gonna be tight, and then Peach never called him again after that whole shit with at the end of Paper Mario.
You know, my whole body's kind of shaped like this. Let me swing up into that pussy.
Like Twink always brings up what he did at the end of Paper Mario 1 to everybody, and it just gets old every second that
old woman. I fucked up that old woman, bro.
And like everyone just like rolls their eyes like, oh yeah, Twink, yeah, we all remember.
Twink is like the peaked in high school motherfucker that you know. Where he just doesn't shut the fuck up. It's like, hey, you remember when I helped save the world in front of Princess Peach? It's like, oh my God.
You
like,
know
what? Just like Gino is up there chilling with him and he's like, oh, yes.
You know what it became?
Oh my God, we get it.
It became what Drake and Josh's relationship became afterwards. They just kind of drifted apart and like, you know, then Twink got like kind of little antsy on Twitter and it's just like Peach got married, right? And it's just like, well, I didn't get my invite, Peach. And then like, he would actually tweet that like online. Like that's what Twink would be.
You remember when I helped your fucking husband save the world? And Mario's just like, oh, who is that? Is he coming to the wedding?
He looks familiar. He looks like that thing I get in my hand and I turn sparkly.
Did he start to smoking?
Hey, Peach, do you know this man?
No.
Like she knows, but she just like, no, I just...
He shows up to the wedding, fucking hammered, like blitzed. None of y'all would even be here right now if it wasn't for me.
Imagine he calls himself the great and mighty Twink.
Apparently my name is like a term for some type of homosexual now. Look, I was born in 1995, all right?
People keep calling me breedable and submissible. I don't like it.
I'm not even gay.
It's like Twink actually grew a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, it's me. You're all punching back, Twink. Y'all remember me? Don't you fucking touch me! Like he's got a hooker with him.
Yeah. It's just, but it's like the hooker's already like clocked out at that point. She's just like, oh my god.
Like all the other star spirits are just like so disappointed in him. Like the old man is just like.
It's even depressing to think that like he's like everyone, all the star spirits just thought like he has such great potential, and he just pissed it all away.
They do like an episode of like fucking like what is that episode like that drug show where they're like staging intervention for someone and shit. There's like
isn't it just intervention?
There's a lot of people who care about you, like Eldstar. Like there's a lot of people who really care about you.
I'm just remembering that one where the guy's like, yeah, despite everything, man, I still love you. And then you just hear Twink go,
That's from Smosh!
Was that from Smosh?
Yes, it was! That's Ian, like in one of the, no, that's Anthony in, like, one of the specials, it was, like, one of their fucking, like I don't remember what video it is, but that's a clip from Smosh. I remember because I've watched, like, some of SMG4's videos, and he uses that clip so much because all of his fucking stuff is memes.
Yeah.
That's actually from Smosh. Oh, stay tuned for the second half of this episode, by the way.
Yeah.
When that happens. I'm literally going to call it 127 and a half. And, like, the other one I'm going to call it, like, 127 and a half.
Like Lion King 1.5. It's just like, it's kind of
but this is better.
but it's really not.
This is better than that shit.
I thought Lion King 1.5 was alright. It was probably the most unnecessary fucking movie ever made, but it's like...
All the Disney sequels are.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Oh, this was a prequel? Since it was about Timon and Pumbaa, like, primarily?
It was, yeah. And then, then there was Lion King 2, which was a prequel about fucking,
Kiara.
Simba's Scar.
No, Simba's daughter.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. She was going after, this Scar look-alike bad boy lion, and I bet you the furries had a field day with that shit.
Probably. I thought that was just a young Scar. Nope. Never mind.
It was, I don't know, they kept saying, he's not Scar's son, even though they made him purposefully look like a young Scar. It makes no fucking sense.
Fuck, man. Well, that was a good way to, that was a good laugh. That was a good way to end it. That was some good old classic DDE shenanigans. Yeah, that's me. You're all punching back, Twink. None of you fuckers would even be here if it wasn't for me. That fucking turtle would still be all up in your ass.
You remember Mario? You tried to attack him, and he just went, dink! You didn't do shit.
That shit sounded like my name, Twink! And a new WarioWare too, and it's like motion controls, like smooth moves. I forgot about that. Having a new WarioWare game was definitely not on my bingo card. I'll tell you that much.
No, but I almost feel that they've had one for all the major consoles.
There was already one for the Switch, though.
Oh, they did? Oh, that went under my radar. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was different. It was called WarioWare Get It Together. And like it was like a co-op one basically, as well as single player, where you're in the same classic micro games, but you control them differently because you play as like a little Wario chibi character inside of it, and you can play as like all like the different like Wario characters like Wario, Mona, Dribble, and Spitz. But like you basically, it's like it was pretty cool actually. It was a really good game. Like you solve the micro games, but not in the traditional ways. Like basically, imagine you have like another little character breaking the fourth wall in it.
Okay,
it was actually pretty. It was a pretty cool game. But yeah, no, I know what you were about to say. There was already a WarioWare game on the Switch. I just fucking put another one.
Okay. Why the fuck not, though? Why not?
This one's really different, though, because this one is supposed to be, like, smooth moves. It's like, it's all motion controls again, like, if you remember.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember WarioWare smooth moves for the Wii?
Faintly. I remember at least, like, playing it once or twice, but, like, nothing past that.
I worked up a sweat playing that game as a kid. I can't even lie.
Maybe you could pick that up instead of not Wii Fit, the fucking Ring Fit.
I have not played Ring Fit Adventure since that game broke my lumbar. I go to the gym now like an adult.
I mean, Ring Fit really was
you
just
know
like...
the gains are paying off.
I love to see it.
Oh, you see that? So squishy. And my core is nice and tight. You know, there's still fat there, but it's still nice and tight.
Oh, can I talk about Canada now for a little bit?
No, you may not, because you're gonna have to do that next time. I'm just gonna cut the recording. Let the audio files render, and then we're gonna stay in this room and just keep the recording going. I'm doing that because just in case it corrupts. You know what I mean? I want it to be short. So at the end of this first half of the episode, because we had a bunch of topics planned for this episode, that this direct had too much information for us to fit into one big kahuna.
On top of also just a lot of shit that happened over the last couple days. So, like, we just figured, like, okay, might as well just record it now and then just, I guess, like, put up the two halves thing up whenever they go up. So
I'll do that too. Like, I'll combine them together into one big file afterwards as well as two separate ones. But just in case you're ending it here, follow us on Twitter, at Double D Pod, Instagram, the Double D Experience 21. Also, we're available wherever you get your podcast, and on youtube.com/Nintoonist. Please let us know what your favorite part of the direct was and what you're most looking forward to, as well as what your favorite game was. Nerd us to us about Mario RPG, all that shit.
Also, share your thoughts about, let's say, this new up-and-coming console. We already know it's coming, but share us your thoughts about, like, okay, like, do you also hope that Nintendo at least keeps the Switch's ecosystem with this new one, and at the very least keeps it backwards compatible? Like, also, maybe how mad would you be if, like, basically your entire collection almost basically gets invalidated because of, hey, we have a new console and basically go fuck yourself? Like, so yeah, just give us your thoughts on all of that. Very curious. And we'll see you at part 2. Click here.
Part 2. Shut your halfway pie holes.
And also like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't touch that mouse or your Fire Stick or whatever the fuck it is, or your phone, whatever it is you're using to listen
I'm gonna
to us right
suck
now.
on your finger. Yeah, exactly like that. I'm gonna kiss you.
At the yard sale.
In the kiss.